Alrighty, everyone, welcome back. This is now just a chill session with my audience for the rest of the stream. We don't have time to really go into any more, we don't have time for gameplay. We have like an hour and a half basically to kill. And I was saying, what should we do? We can't really start any narrative-based game. I could do a few matches of Street Fighter, but, you know, we'll just hang out, shall we? Shall we just hang out? Let's just do that and see what you guys want to talk about. And go from there. First of all, I have a shout out to do. I received a $10 tip. I feel moving forward, you should start phasing out talking point about being the target of harassment for the last 10 years and start moving. I know it's been a long road, how painful the journey is. I feel like when you mention it, it's only getting repetitive, but detractors feel joy. The only reason I'm bringing it up, because initially this is a lot of people realizing, okay, he's coming out of that. It's not happening. I mean, right now, there are these people still doing it, but they don't have the power that they used to. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't think people will be afraid to collab with me anymore. Because people are realizing I just did collabs with two major, you know, content creator streamers. And I think that people are going to be like, he's good now. Let's hang out with him, right? So I don't think, and yeah, I don't want to harp on that. I really don't. I want to move forward positively. But I mean, you're asking me questions like, well, how do you feel? I'm being honest. It's hard to feel super positive when 10 years I've been, like people have said it. What do you guys say it was? Someone said it really good in chat. There's a word for it. When like, because you've been going through something, I don't know if it's just trauma or something else, but like you've been going through something for so long that now like that's the norm, and it feels weirder for things to be going better than going wrong. I almost feel like it was normal for things to go bad or people talk shit about me or whatever. So now that this isn't happening anymore, it feels bizarre, right? I don't know what the word, if it is trauma or another word. But the thing is, hopefully that's going to change. PTSD, you know, maybe it is PTSD in a way. I mean, obviously, I'm not a fucking shell-shocked soldier who's out on a battlefield. I'm not trying to get fucking stolen valor here or anything. But, I mean, in a way, that's probably what a lot of it is, right? Is that it's hard for me to believe good things. Because if I believe the good things, they could blow up in my face and end up being bad, right? So, it definitely makes me feel nervous. Sarah says, do you think collabing with gaming channels, developers, companies are good, not just drama channels? Dude, what did I say? Did I not just say? Some of my, you know, some collabs people brought up. Maximilian, dude. I would absolutely love that. Whether it's gameplay of the Marvel vs. Capcom collection together, whether it's us talking about the history of EVO and fighting games, I would absolutely love to do that. That is zero drama. Literally zero drama to be had there, right? Or me, you know, reaching out to people who I respected, like the Angry Video Game Nerd or Doug Walker, stuff like that, right? That's not drama, right? I don't think so, you know? I feel like I am an untapped source for information on various topics, on the history of YouTube, on gaming's evolution in general, on the history of Street Fighter in the old school grassroots Street Fighter days, right? I have so much information that no one ever cares about because all they heard was that I was a scumbag. And now people are, oh, he's not. Okay, well, hey, then let's do this finally, right? Seriously. A lot of people are saying Asmon Gold. I would have no idea how to reach out to him. He has a Twitter, but I don't think he reads it. Like, if you remember about a year or two ago, someone was trying to start drama between us or whatever. And I actually did DM him on Twitter, and I was like, just so you know, there's no drama. I have no hard feelings of you saying anything. And I did react to what you said, but, you know, nothing bad. He didn't respond at all. Like, I don't even know if he saw it. I don't know if he reads his Twitter. So, I don't know how to reach out to a guy like that. No, I am not going to get the Atari 7800 plus when it comes out. I don't see what I would use it for. Right? No, opposing my viewpoint and narrative is not against the rules, and people do not get banned when they do. I haven't banned anyone. What are you even talking about? When did I ban someone? Do you see the narrative isn't that, oh, it's a narrative opposed to yours. No, you want to know who gets banned? Insane people who make stuff up. Right? If someone comes in here and says something so insanely ludicrous and outside of the range of reality, yeah, then they're going to get moderated. You're not going to get moderated just because you say something that's against an opinion of mine, right? But you think you will for some odd reason. I'm not moderating anyone. You literally would see me doing it. What are you talking about? No, I'm not going to have a fake sword at night, people. Oh. No, I'm not going to have a fake sword at night, people. We're taking it a little far, don't you think? Oh, I should put this this on. Thank you, Rush Fan. Rush Fan said it was a great interview. I'm glad you liked it. Street Fighter, listen, when I play Street Fighter 6, that's a whole different realm. When I play Street Fighter 6, I put a lot of time and effort to trying to get good at that game because I haven't been good at a fighting game in over a decade. And I committed to try to do it with that game, and I feel like I have. I'm certainly not pro level or anything, but I feel like I'm good at the game, right? And when I give these things, criticisms about the game, I'm being serious about the criticism. I'm not being serious about the insults and shit that I'm tossing around to the opponents. That's meant to be over the top for a reason, you know what I mean? But my criticisms are valid about that game with issues with how it is online, with the way that certain characters are definitely designed for to be unbalanced and they get advantages over others. So if you're in here and I'm like, man, did you see that? So that person can literally just walk up and mash jab and it's interrupting all my attacks. And someone in the chat says, oh no, they can't do that. But it literally just happened on stream. It literally just happened in front of you. You're literally being a contrarian on purpose because you know I'm heated. You know how heated I get when I play Street Fighter 6, right? Like my adrenaline gets pumping, my body temperature goes up, right? Everything gets me so upset when something's going wrong there, especially if it's going wrong over and over. Like, oh, I lose to 20 camis in a row, right? So what's happening is people are rage baiting. They're saying contrarian shit in the chat on purpose because what they want to do is make it look like I'm a jerk because I'm lashing out at them if I ban them. In reality, they're just rage baiting trolls. There's no reason for me to even waste time speaking to them. I just remove them so that we don't have to waste time on them. Or else the whole chat will be people trying to rage bait me, right? You know, I mean, I've been doing this for 16 years. I've been streaming since 2013. I've been a full-time streamer since 2017. I would hope that at some cases, people would give me kind of the benefit of the doubt about how I operate the chat. I mean, take a look at the chat now. How many people are getting mass banned? Do you see this happening? Right? Like, what I think is you need to stop entertaining the shit you've heard and start paying attention to the reality of the shit you're actually seeing when you're in here. Because I think, sadly, that's what's going on is everyone is just, oh, I heard this, I heard that. Well, you're here now, right? So what's happened? Did you see me mass banning anyone in the chat today? I don't do that shit. Only if it's a gross violation of the rules, if someone's being really nasty and insulting, if your trolls are literally trying to bait content for the detractors, which is what rage baiting is, then I'm going to get rid of you, right? There you go. I don't know who Sam Hyde is. You guys keep saying, this one person keeps saying Sam Hyde, Sam Hyde. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know who Sam Hyde is. Hair in my mouth. The Evanite says, I've been watching since your playthrough of Scott Pilgrim vs. the World in 2010. What a journey. I'm glad you've been along for the ride with me, right? It's been amazing. Am I excited for Silent Hill 2? Absolutely I am. We just watched the trailer for it yesterday on the podcast. In fact, that video is a broken out highlight from yesterday's show you can watch right here on the channel. And I think you'll really enjoy it. I think you will if you watch it because my reaction was quite good. Not only did I really enjoy the trailer, but I also went after Konami for their gambling pachinko practices recently. You'll probably get a good laugh out of it, okay? Don't worry about who Sam is. I don't need to worry about that. Okay. I'm glad you enjoyed the interview, Dark Souls Master. So far, I would say my day's going good. The only thing I'll say is, I wish I could have also put out normal content on this stream, like some gameplay, but it's already too late. I would have loved to say, hey, let's do some Black with Wukong or whatever. But you know, I've had a feeling. That's why I kind of set up the stream like this, so no one had any over expectations of anything. I promise you all, Black Myth Wukong continues tomorrow. Okay? We will set it up. It will absolutely be tomorrow's daytime stream. For those who wanted it, we'll have it tomorrow. Okay? Carl wants to know my initial thoughts on Star Wars Outlaws. I gave my full initial thoughts on the game in last night's daily wrap. So if you want that, go check it out for my full thoughts. If you want my thoughts in a very abbreviated nutshell, number one, the game, it has technical issues. The facial animations are very subpar and are jarring to watch. And the graphics, even with my high-end, top-of-the-line gaming PC, have issues. As soon as you go into the open world, it chugs along, and then I had to keep lowering settings, messing with settings, lowering settings. And even then, I have a feeling it's not actually the graphics, it's the game itself doesn't load the world well. Because I'll be driving, all of a sudden, stutter, and you can tell because it's generating the world out in front of you, right? So if that were the case, then don't have a big open world that's a flat land, right? Have other things in place to hide the world behind it, like have trees and shit, so it's not loading the whole world at once. It's kind of hiding the action because it chugs. It really freezes and unfreezes and chugs. It has issues there. Gameplay wise, it's a mishmash of many different games. It doesn't seem to have a unique identity as of yet. And 4.5 hours in, the characters aren't even in it yet. Like there's supposed to be like this robot guy who's a teammate. I'm 4.5 hours in, he's not even in the game yet. How long do they expect me to play until the game actually starts with what it's supposed to be? I don't know. I'll be honest, I don't hate the game at all, but I'm not blown away either. I just think it's kind of it's all right. I mean, there's 4.5 hours of gameplay to watch on the channel if you want to check it out for yourself. I likely will be at least giving it one more shot in the future if you guys want me to, and then from there we'll judge if you want a full playthrough or you want me to lay off of it. We'll have to see. Okay? Highest Darkness says, yeah, a lot of people are actually having issues with this game, even with 4090 graphics cards. I have the 40, what do I have? The 4070 or the 4080 Ti Pro or whatever it's called? Ti Super? So you're saying even with the best graphics card, they still are having problems. Yeah. Okay. All right, so if you guys want to chat, please tag me in the chat at DSPGaming. We'll have a little bit of a talk about whatever. And if any contributions come in, I will shout them out. But the rest of this stream will likely just be a chill session where we just hang out for like an hour, hour and a half. It seems like we finally calmed down from earlier, and now we can just relax, so I'm down for that. Kamaru again is bringing up Sam High. I don't know who that is. I really don't. Yes, tonight's late stream is WWE Champions. We're going to be playing it together for the first time ever. And I have no idea how it's going to go. I think many people might show up, but I don't think... What you have to understand is with that game, you have to play through it a bit before you can get to anything that's kind of interesting. So we have to do, like, the initial campaigns to unlock a certain level. When you hit a certain level, then content opens up. We can't, like, do the special events and content yet. We have to get through that initial shit first. So it might not be as interesting as people want it to be, right? Like some people might be like, oh, well, will you do a big pull tonight? Like, I don't even have anything set up. I don't even have any financial shit in there to do a pull. So that's, you know, if you want me to do, oh, well, Phil do a pull. Well, yeah, maybe if someone financed a big pull, I would do one. But that means that I have to then take the show off the stream, go get something to pay it with, add it in there. You know what I mean? Like, it's not going to be like, oh, yeah, we can do it immediately. Let's do it. You know, what I kind of wanted to show you guys is this is the game that people have made a big hoopla about for like 5 years. Wait till you see this game because it's nothing special. It's just a matching gem game. You know, it's not a big deal at all. These people just wanted this meme to shit on me, and now they can't shit on me anymore for it. So watch what'll happen is people will come and they'll be like, let's see it. And within an hour, they'll be like, what the fuck is this? Like, yeah, this is what you wanted all this time. So now you have it. Right? Is this really what you wanted? I don't know. Maybe people will like it. I mean, if they do, okay, you know, I'm okay with that. Let's see. Let's see what happens tonight on the stream. I really don't know how it's going to go. We'll find out, right? Can I see myself doing Fallout London after Stardew Valley? I don't know, Hellion. Right now, I really don't want to think about any oddball projects. We have so many new games coming out in the fall this year during this busy gaming season. I don't think we're going to be looking for downtime games at all. Every stream is going to be a new release, new release, new release. Any plans for an RPG soon? You guys know the schedule. I've gone through it. I don't think that we have any major RPGs as of yet, but I think we have Dragon Age coming up. Metaphor is a maybe, right? We have some things. Carl says, I hope you do more film reviews. Yeah, I don't know. You want to know what I watched last night before I went to sleep? You want to hear a mini review? I'll give you a mini review right now. Ladies and gentlemen, last night before I went to sleep, I saw Long Legs. This horror movie. Starring Nicolas Cage, and I don't even recognize who the female lead actress was. I don't know who she is. Everyone on the internet was going absolutely crazy for this movie, saying it's the best horror movie ever. It did great at the film festivals, and then it scared the crap out of movie audiences and all of that. It's incredibly, you gotta see it. It's like the most new gen kind of horror movie. You're absolutely gonna love this movie. Okay, was it Sydney Sweeney was the main actress of it? Okay. So last night, I paid for it. It wasn't like it was on a thing. I had to pay for it to rent it. It was very expensive because it's still in theater. So I was like, you know what? I've heard so much about it. I made some good money these last few weeks. I can drop a few bucks here and watch a movie. So I got the movie. Okay? And I'm going to be honest. The cinematography is excellent. The framing of the shots, the way the camera dramatically pans, some of the music that plays at certain places, it's scary. It's actually like, it's jarring. You'll have a shot of a hallway. Then she'll turn. You'll have a shot of the side of the house. She's looking out the window. Then she'll turn. It's a shot of a hallway. Then she'll turn. Oh, God, there's something right there, right? Like, oh, shit, I just pooped my pants. That's done very, very well. Okay? I enjoyed that part of it. However, the plot of the movie was awful. The plot of the movie was so bad. So bad. At the end, I was like, that's it? That's the movie that everyone says is good? I'm talking about the movie Long Legs. I was like, what? Like, I was like this. I was like, oh, no. Like, what happened, man? What happened to a horror, like horror buffs like this movie? First of all, like Nicolas Cage, I don't feel like he does a bad job, but they gave him this really weird makeup job to make him not look like Nicolas Cage. So instead, he actually looks like a guy who has had insane amounts of plastic surgery to his face. So he's like, his face swollen. It looks like a bunch of bees came and stung him. And they did like Botox injections all over his fucking head. He just looks really fucking weird because of this weird makeup job they did for him. So he doesn't look like Nicolas Cage at all. Okay? The FBI woman is Micah Monroe. That's the actress who plays the main character. Okay. Micah Monroe. Gotcha. And then, so like, I'm not going to tell you any of the plot because I don't want to spoil this movie whatsoever. All right? But it tries going in like 10 different directions. First, it makes you think that it's going to be like Seven. You ever saw the movie Seven? Seven Deadly Sins? Like the murderer who kills people who are like sloth and anger and lust and shit like that. You ever seen that movie? It feels like Seven. Like, oh, it's going to be another Seven. Then I'm really going to like this. I think Seven is an outstanding movie. I would watch it to this day. I love it. Keeps you on the edge of your seat. The acting is top notch and all of that shit, right? But then it takes a weird turn, like halfway through, and by the end of the movie, I almost feel like they didn't know where they wanted the plot to go, so they just ended it in like a weird way that wasn't satisfying to me at all. Like, I wasn't satisfied at all with the way it ended. But by the way, it actually had an ending. I should say this. The movie had an ending. A horror movie with an actual definitive ending? Yeah, it actually had a definitive ending. I was shocked because most horror movies these days don't have definitive endings. They always do the cop-out, like you don't know what happened or you figure it out for yourself or you thought the killer was dead. The last second they jump back up and then it's a black screen, credits roll. No, the movie actually had an ending. And that blew me away because they didn't pussy out. But I just didn't like the ending. I just felt it was a very more empty, unsatisfying ending. And the way that, like I said, halfway through the movie, it goes from being like a serious detective, thriller, horror, murder mystery movie to something different. The thing is, I don't want to tell you what it is different because it would actually spoil the plot. So I'm not going to do that. But I just didn't like it as much after they changed the tone of the movie to be something different. I actually started disliking it by the end. I was like, oh, man, I really thought it was going this way. They were building it up to be this way. Now it's not this. I kind of feel like not that it's a bait and switch or anything like that. It definitely is a horror movie. It's got real horror. It's got some psychological horror. It's got gore. It's got everything you would expect from a horror movie, and it's not a bad movie. It's a well shot movie. It's a well acted movie. I just didn't like it at the end. I was like, eh. Honestly, of all the horror movies I've seen in like the last decade, I think the most original one that legit creeped me out a bit, well, number one would be Babadook. I think that one was a long time ago, almost 10 years ago now. That one really got me. I liked that one. And the other one is It Follows. It Follows is one of the most original premises of any horror movie I've ever seen in my life. I think they're making a sequel now, finally, many years later. That scared me. Like, that movie's legit scary, because what happens is in a horror movie, you tend to try to put yourself into the situation. And I'm like, dude, if you were in that situation, you'd be like, what the F? How, what would you do? And you're like, I actually don't have a legit answer of how I would handle the situation. you know? So I do recommend It Follows, although to warn everyone, it does have some sexual content in it. So, it's not just a horror movie. It's got some other themes too. But those would be the two best ones I just saw, like in the last 10 years, I would say. All the movies that everyone raves about, like, fuck. What's the 2 or 3 movies that were made in a row by the same person? It was Midsommar. What was the one before that? Hereditary? Yeah, Hereditary. I don't really like them. Everyone loved those movies. I just don't really like them. I don't think they're scary at all. And they have, like, crappy twist endings. That's like, it's funny because if you watch Hereditary, okay, and then you start watching Midsommar, you already know what's going to happen. Because I think that director or whoever it is who makes those movies, it's exactly the same. It's just like, here's a premise, you second guess yourself the whole movie, and at the end there's a twist that reveals everything. It was what you thought all along, but they were leading you to believe it wasn't. So it's 2 exact movies. They were exactly the same. So the third one probably will be the same, right? The next one that they Ari Aster, that's who does them. I guarantee you the next one will be exactly the same. It just seems like the same shtick over and over. So I don't know how many people are interested in horror movies. People were asking me here. I went on a tangent here, but I thought it was something to talk about. Thank you, Jason. I'm so happy for all the support and the streak going. Yeah, I know. It's pretty amazing, isn't it, Jade? I agree with you. It's been pretty crazy. So basically, like, every time I see a horror movie get hyped, or I see a bunch of people recommend one, I watch it and I'm like, disappointing. I haven't really seen that many good ones. Everyone says watch, what is it? Terrifier. I don't want to, it's just gore. What's the point? It's just body gore. It's not terrifying. It's just, you're going to show me a bunch of body parts chopped off and ripped up and stabbed. It's not, it doesn't, I'm 42 years old now. I'm kind of really desensitized to that stuff. I don't really, it's kind of like, remember when the first time you saw, like, Dawn of the Dead, right? The first time you saw it, and you see people being eaten and stuff, and then remember when Walking Dead got huge and people were being eaten? It's like, oh, whoa, that's crazy. Now, if a zombie movie comes out and you go to see it, like, I've seen like 400 of these. Like, it doesn't really work anymore. I'm not scared. I'm desensitized to it. You know what I mean? There's no horror there at all left for me. The whole physical harm body horror thing doesn't really get to me anymore. Like, yeah, not a big deal. You know what I mean? I've seen it all. I don't know if I've seen it all, but I've seen a lot, and I get to a point where it's not that interesting anymore, right? Hope says, you finally, well, if you answer the question, what's your favorite ice cream? No, that's too, I told you, that's a trap question. I would never answer that, right? Big Bambino says, why do you talk about being 40 like you're 90? You have half your life left. Because, again, now some people are going to say, you're not supposed to say this, because for 10 years, I've been beaten down and treated like dirt. So actually, I've probably gotten so much negativity and abuse thrown towards me for 10 years, I literally feel like I'm 80. You know what I mean? Like up here. Not that here, yeah. But up here, yeah. I took a lot of abuse, man. Get exhausted. And now it's like, now I'm here for it. I'm here for the positive future. But I got to, like, keep up. And it's going to be hard to keep up because I've been in this way for 10 years. And now I got to, like, I have to adjust. I have to adapt, right? And it's going to be tough for me to do, admittedly. Okay? I received a $10 tip. Sorry I didn't call this out earlier. I was talking about horror movies and I got distracted here. From Gabriel. What's up? Longlegs has the best marketing campaign of any modern horror. It was entertaining but very overhyped. The moment they revealed Cage's character, the suspense was over, and they do it relatively early on. That is true. Like, for example, if they didn't show his character right at the beginning, maybe there would have been like a huge build to it. But they show him like almost right away, and then they don't show him again for like a long time. And I don't really understand why they did that. And I'll be honest, I think the first time they showed him, I wasn't even scared. Really, at all by the character. I think you get scared by, you are tended to be scared by him much more later in the film when you see the other things that have been going on, right? Will I eventually check out Visions of Mana? I have no idea. Here's my plan. All right, tonight we're going to do the whole WWE Champions thing and see how it goes. I have no clue how that stream is going to go. It very well could be a disaster. At the very least, I hope that stream isn't such a disaster it ends the streak. That would suck. That all these years, people are saying, reveal what you're doing, show the game, blah, blah, blah. And then I finally start and play it with you guys tonight. And then this is sports. That would be awful, right? That would be like the worst case. I hope not, right? But we're going to do that tonight. Tomorrow, let's do Black with Wukong as the day stream, as a normal stream. Let's do tomorrow night Stardew Valley because we didn't do it all week. Okay? Then I'm off on Friday. Saturday, we're going to do the Call of Duty beta. Then we're going to do Street Fighter 6 at night on Saturday. Sunday's my React day. And then I'm going to leave the week open. Reason being, I don't know when the June the King documentary about me is dropping. It very well could actually drop one of those days during the weekend. I don't know. It could drop Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Whenever it drops, I need to start reacting to it. And that's when we have to adjust the schedule. See? But right now, when you're saying, will you play Visions of Mana? Will you go back to System Shock 2? Will you play this? Will you play this? Will you play this? No. That's the honest answer. No, I can't do any of that. Right now, my hands are tied with what I'm doing. I'm already inundated with a bunch of stuff. I can't take on new projects or stuff. I can't. Maybe in the future, but there's an insane amount of stuff going on in gaming right now that's going to be very busy for time for me right now. You know what I'm saying? So I can't really say definitively on anything what games I'll be playing, what I won't be playing. You know what I mean? We have to wait and see how things go. And go from there. Fair enough? I hope that sounds fair enough to you guys. Okay. I'm gonna have to check up on all kinds of messages and stuff today to see what people are talking about. Because man, they're all over the place. Okay. Ugh. Did I see Jason movies in Friday the 13th? I think I've seen everyone except Jason X. I don't think I ever watched Jason X. Maybe I did. I don't recall watching Jason X, but I think I watched everything else. Sea of Stars, I told you guys I will eventually go back to it. Obviously, it ain't in the cards now, right? But I do want to go back to it. It's a great game. Maybe when things slow down early next year, I don't know. We'll have to see. No, I've never heard of Ramthas School of Enlightenment. What the heck is that? I've never heard of that. Is that a movie or something? He says it's like Long Legs. Well, if it's like Long Legs, I don't want to see it. I didn't like Long Legs. Yeah. I don't know. I'll have to ask around and see. Like I said, sadly, I just don't have a lot of contact. Or I don't have a way to contact all these people. Like, people are saying, will you work with Maximilian? Will you work with Asmongold? Will you work with Mudahar? Will you work with... Like, yeah, I'd be interested, but I don't know how to reach out to these people. I don't have the connections, right? I don't have any connections. So I don't have information to be reaching out and being like, hey, this and that. You know what I mean? Ellipsian, yes, I already saw. No worries. I'll respond later. No big deal. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how it works, you know? My Twitter account is there, and they could easily DM me on my Twitter account if they wanted to, right? See, here's the thing. Day Wizzlear says, do you see this as your redemption arc? You know, I hear that term all the time. And I know what it means. And I think for people who have been, let me put it this way. If someone went on a big downward spiral, like let's say there was a YouTuber who was a really popular YouTuber, but then they did all these egregious things back to back to back. And that's why they had a big downfall, correct? Let's say, I don't know, like who would be the example of that? Toby Turner, who was the top of the YouTube game, and then all this stuff got exposed about him on drugs and with girls and shit. And basically, so many people came out to say, hey, it's all true, that basically he just completely declined, and now all he does is like talk about politics and shit, and no one watches his stuff anymore. Something crazy like that, right? But that's what I mean. Like, someone who comes out, there's like an egregious act or something that happened. There's verifiable proof that it happened. So now no one likes them anymore, right? So now they're on a downward spiral. They lose their popularity. They lose their notoriety. No one wants to talk about them. But then all of a sudden, something happens and there's a big turnaround, whether it's their character, whether people start liking them again, they've forgiven them for their past egregiousness or whatever it is, right? And then they build back up. That, to me, that's what a redemption arc is. You did something wrong, but eventually you found redemption for it and you're back. I would like someone to tell me what it is that I did wrong, right? Like, I was just a YouTuber at the right place at the right time, and I think what happened is YouTube culture changed. It wasn't that I did something wrong. It was that it changed, and now people saw me in a negative light instead of a positive one, and people realized it was more profitable, fun, viral, memeable to talk about me in the negative light than the popular one, right? Or the positive one. Correct? So what did I do that I need redemption for? Because when you listen to the guys like Kino Casino or Keemstar now talk about me, and they're like, yeah, so basically, you're not a villain. Just listen to this. The bankruptcy, the alcohol addiction, and mobile game addiction. The bankruptcy. That's an egregious, horrible thing I did? Really? Bankruptcy? Personal bankruptcy is an egregious, horrible act that needs to be redeemed from? I wasn't aware of that. Alcohol addiction? Okay. So I had an alcohol addiction. That's correct. And yeah, I've had to come back from that in my personal life, but that wasn't something that was public, nor was it something that was affecting any of my content, my streams, or my public persona. So how is that something that I needed to be? The mobile game addiction. Again, literally, it wasn't in my content. It wasn't in my streams. It wasn't anything public. It wasn't anything that I was doing that anyone should care about. The things that you're saying I need redemption for aren't things that need redemption. They're just some personal shit behind the scenes that affects nothing, right? And I think that's what, again, what Kino Casino keeps saying is literally all the things that you're hated for are dumb things that you don't need to be redeemed for. It doesn't even make sense that people hate you for them. The only reason that people do is because it became a meme, correct? Right? I just don't get it. I'm lost. I didn't slap a baby. I didn't go on a racist tirade, right? I didn't steal anyone's money. I didn't have a scam charity. I didn't screw over an editor and do egregious acts to anyone. There was no grooming scandal. There was no sexual misconduct. There was, I mean, I could keep going on and on. I didn't fake cancer. You know what I mean? All these things. I didn't do any of those. So I just don't understand what happened, right? That everyone just said, well, now it's time to hate on Phil and turn him into the ultimate butt of everyone's joke. I don't remember the one egregious thing. In fact, it was something that happened so slowly because it started with the Retsuperai guys, right? They razzed me. Then that spurned on Evil AJ to make the original This Is How You Don't Play video about my Metal Gear Solid 2 playthrough. And that, it had massive popularity. So then he decided to do one about Metal Gear Solid 3. Then that saw massive popularity. So he started making more. Then everyone started making them. Those all saw massive popularity. So then people just kept going and pushing the envelope. And it went from This Is How You Don't Play to This Is How You Don't Game to This Is How You Don't Make Content to This Is How You Don't Live. Like, literally, that at the end, it's like, this is how you don't live, so just go kill yourself, Phil. Like, what? How did we get that far? Right? How did it come from, okay, so you're not very good at games, and we're going to razz you for it, to we've literally systematically exposed all this personal shit about your life nobody should know, to try to publicly embarrass you. We are sitting in your video comments doing the most heinous actions possible in a popularity contest to show up in a negative video about you. We stalk your family, we stalk your friends, we stalk your followers, we stalk your moderators, we stalk everyone and dox all their information on the internet. We scare away anyone who's a big contributor because we know that that'll hurt your business. I mean, I could keep going, but I mean, that's how it became. It's like, wait a minute, but what did I do? I was just the same guy. I didn't change. I didn't do horrible acts. Like Keemstar said, I was basically a guy who didn't change with the times. I'm an old man dinosaur of YouTube, and I should have adapted, and I didn't. But the thing people don't realize is when I did try to adapt, I wasn't able to because my detractors always ended it before I could, you see? So, it's just crazy to me. Like, again, a redemption arc. I guess that is a great way to describe what this is, but I still have to ask, what am I being redeemed for? Because when people say, well, the most egregious thing you've done is you asked for money from your viewers. You said you needed money for bills, for groceries, and shit like that. I did do that. You're correct. I absolutely did do that. I know other people do that too, but I did it and I'm guilty of it for sure. I fess up to it, right? I still don't see how that's like a horrendous action that I need to be redeemed from. You know, I didn't run a charity scam where every year I raise an insane amount of money and then actually never gave it to charity. I told you the money was going to me and for things that I was going to do with it, right? Now, I don't owe you an actual checklist of what I spent it on. No one does. If you give any content creator your money, and unless they're outright saying this is a fundraiser for charity, they have the right to do with your money whatever the hell they want. And it will always be like that. It doesn't matter if you think that's wrong or right. That's just how it is. So you have to accept that. When you give your money to someone, the money is gone. They will spend it however they want. Whether the dollar was spent on groceries, or the dollar was spent on gas for the car, or the dollar was spent on a mobile game, or the dollar was spent on drugs, or liquor, or a trip to the Bahamas that you don't know about, it's gone. The money is gone. I just don't understand where you ask people for money, okay? So now I'm the world's biggest villain. I could have sworn that every single streamer that has a goal, they shout out contributions, they say, please support the stream. Isn't that what they're doing? Maybe they didn't as egregiously or aggressively ask for it like I did for a period there, right? During that bankruptcy period, I was probably at my worst because every day, literally, I didn't know how I was going to get through it, how I was going to pay bills and shit. Hallelujah for the vest streak that happened back then that actually got me through a few months of it, you know? But I just don't understand at all why everyone just saw Phil as the biggest villain on the planet, and no one can really justify it. When you say, well, this and this and this, they just move the goalposts to the next thing, and the next thing. And when you say, well, you can't even say what you're saying is truth. It's a lot of hearsay. It's a lot of, you know, circumstantial evidence. And if you have to believe every single piece of circumstantial evidence is true to believe what you're saying about Phil, even then, if it was true and I was guilty of all the shit they said, it's still not enough to hate on me like they have. You know? So, I don't get it. What am I being redeemed from? From being an e-beggar or something? I don't know. What is the redemption of Darkside Phil? For me, this is YouTube changed. Correct? YouTube changed. Everyone's opinions on YouTube content changed. I wasn't in line with what people wanted from YouTube content. Instead, it was easier for me to become the joke. And that joke became so prominently virally popular that people just believed everything they heard because they didn't care otherwise. All of a sudden now, boom, that's flipped. And people are like, oh, he's good again. Yeah, but what changed? What changed? Nothing, right? Now, Keith said, well, you're branching out. He's right. I'm branching out. I'm doing different things. I want to do some different things. I don't want to just sit here every day playing video games all day. I like doing different content. I had the intentions of doing different content last year. I was already going to start an interview series. DSP Asks It. It got canceled because of the side scrollers interview, right? So I do need to do variety of content. I do need to do different kinds of content, right? For sure. I agree there, for sure. And I will try to do that. But I still don't have an answer. Like, I'm literally sitting here with you guys. You're not an echo chamber. This is an open chat right now. And I'm asking you, what was I redeemed for? No one has answered. Not a single person has actually answered. Boogie needs to be redeemed for being a lifelong victim and lying about a million different things, most notably recently cancer. Wings of Redemption keeps having things brought up about his past, like things he said in the past and shit like that. I mean, I'm not aware of him doing so many horrendous things, but I do know that systematically, he's a guy who backs out of things at the last minute, like he did with our Kino Casino collab the other day, where he was going to be part of Chain Together and he didn't show up. But I don't necessarily think that guy's a horrendous bad guy, or how, like, what would he be redeemed from? I don't know. I really don't know, actually. But like I'm really curious, like, what exactly should I be redeemed for? And no one answers. So maybe there is no redemption arc. Maybe this is a reality arc. Maybe for 10 years, people on the internet were just fucking crazy towards me. And now people are just like, okay, it's played out now. Being crazy towards Phil just doesn't work anymore. I think we had enough. And now we're moving in a different direction, which is nice, right? I don't know. Oh, my nose. His name is literally Rings of Redemption. I didn't even think about that. That's funny. I just received a $1 tip. Someone says, you mentioned being disappointed with horror movies lately. Alien Romulus is pure horror and truly excellent. Rent it when it's available. Long Legs was overrated. I will have to look into it. I'll believe you, and I will. I don't think it's going to be available anytime soon. It's still in theaters, but perhaps I will look into that when I get a chance. Thank you for the recommendation. Let's see here. The Red King did a super chat. Wait a minute. Did I miss a few more? I missed a few. Hold on. I apologize. Brandon became a member. Thank you, Brandon, for becoming a member of the channel today. Did we get 50 new members today? We got 44 new members today. That's a good amount for this stream. Thank you, guys. We had 1,284 likes on this stream. That's pretty insane, no? That's pretty wild. But I'll clip it up into segments that people can watch them later. But I might just leave the stream open, like viewable, just like I did with the review tech stream. I might just leave it viewable if you want to watch the entire thing. I might let you, but then I'll clip it up into the parts, the segments, and I might even highlight clips after that too. We'll see. Okay. Oh, let's see here. Cheap Greaser did a $2 New Zealand super chat. Would you be a guest on LOL Call Live now? Wait. Would you be? I can't even read anymore. Would you be a guest on LOL Call Live now? Now, not no. Now. Again, I kind of expressed this to Keem that I don't want to be a part of drama content at all. I don't want to be on a show that I morally and philosophically disagree with because I feel like the show has a ton of bullying on it. I do. I'm sorry. Take a look at the show. When these guys are being forced into this shit, you might say, well, they're not forced into it. They're getting paid to do it. You're right. But I still feel it's like exploitation. Maybe you could disagree, and that's where we can agree to disagree. I feel like that kind of level of shit that they're doing is exploitation. Like, you're watching because you're like, what ridiculous thing is Boogie and Wings doing today? Let's laugh at the two clowns who will do anything for money. I don't like that content at all. I'm not okay with it. I'm legit not okay with that content, and I really won't change. You know what I'm saying? So, I guess we'll have to see. Like, I mean, again, let's not get ahead of ourselves here. But for now, I think my answer would be no. You know, I don't think that's that's not the first thing I would want to jump on at all. I don't foresee that happening. I don't know how that would even work, or like right now, Keem's viewers are going to see me in that interview and make judgments, right? Immediately on that, I don't see you even going on his show right after. Like, what would that do? I don't even think it would. I don't even know what it would be. Because I don't want to be on a show where there's all kinds of toxic bullying and shit. I just don't want to do, you know what I'm saying? I don't want to be a part of that. So, Um, the Red King did a super chat. One could interpret the way you've treated your audience in the past as ungrateful, not hating, just an honest question. Keep up the good work. So, Red King, how would you, and tag me in the chat. Don't super chat again to answer this. What do you think that I have done to show that I am ungrateful to my audience and supporters? Because you would think that if I was showing constantly that I'm just so ungrateful, right, to my audience and supporters, they wouldn't be my audience and my supporters anymore, right? This isn't like some fucking weird Stockholm Syndrome stream where everyone just likes getting peed on, right? Right? Like, I'm a little lost about this one because I hear that from my detractors. You know what I say? I hear that from my detractors all the time. That feels like an abusive streamer. Why would I have an audience, right, if I was abusive? It doesn't even make sense. I'm lost. People are not tuning into this stream because I can't wait for Phil to insult me. They're tuning into the stream because they like the content, they like my attitude, they like hanging out with me, they like the social aspect, they like the gameplay, they like the opinions, right? I don't get what you're saying, right? Calling them idiots for asking a simple question, okay? I don't think I've ever called someone an idiot for asking a simple question. Like, if you said to me right now, what are you having for dinner? I'd probably say, I don't know. It's up to my wife what she's going to make. Maybe something frozen, but I don't see the big deal. I wouldn't say, well, you fucking piece of shit idiot, you dunce. How dare you ask the king what victuals he will consume for his meal? How dare you? Now kiss the royal boot. When have I ever done that? Right? Like, yeah, me, because again, Red King, what I have to emphasize here, I have a lot of hate watchers, pocket watchers who are my detractors, and what they try to do is they try to goad me into saying shit or talking about topics they know I'm not going to talk about or they want me to get to. You know what I'm saying? And that's what happens. Like, so they'll come in the chat and maybe they'll ask a question like that, and or something dumb. Not that question. They'll ask a genuinely dumb question that, like, they know I'm not going to answer, or is actually like an attempt to insult, like a sneak diss or something like that. And I'll answer it. I'll be like, well, you're being a jerk or whatever, you know. I don't understand where you're coming from. The scorn situation, which Lord X Law is bringing up, I've literally already apologized for a billion times. I told you, yeah, that was completely wrong. I mean, I even got called out by Moist Critical for that, did I not? And I said, you know what? That opened my eyes to the fact that that was wrong. I'm human. I need to stop and improve for the better. And I'm thankful to Moist Critical for calling me out for that because it was awful. So it happened and I apologized for it. And it hasn't. Can you name another situation where that really happened again? So what's the issue here? I think what happens is, all right, people see the clip, right? So you saw that clip of me during Scorn. Do you even know when that took place? I'm just curious. Without looking it up, because some people look it up now. Do you know when that Scorn clip took place? I'll answer that. It was almost 2 years ago right now. 2 years ago. But people will be like, oh, it just happened yesterday, right? It's like, what are you talking about? No, it didn't. It happened 2 years ago. I was called out for it. I rightly apologized for it. And I don't do that shit. It's things that have happened in the past, but people act like it's absolute. It's absolutely absolute, right? And I'm like, what? What do you mean? No, life is not absolute. Life is not black and white. Just because something happened in the past doesn't mean someone can't grow or change from it, right? But that's what it is. These people on the internet, and I will call it this, it's a simpleton's mentality. You think that it's hero, villain, black, white, good, bad, right? Disgusting or delicious. You know, you have these extremes in your head, and you think that there's absolutely nothing whatsoever between. And I'm a human. I'm here 6 days a week full time. There's going to be days when stuff is going to happen, and I'm going to lose my nerve. I'm going to flip my lid. I think a lot of people like that, too. They want to goad me into doing that, correct? They know that I can have a temper problem if something's going wrong. Case in point, when this new PC showed up in the first week of August, and that night, literally everything went wrong. Won't connect to the internet. Things aren't working on it. And I'm like, dude, for years and years, all we've wanted is me to be able to do PC gaming. And now here it is, this top of the line, awesome, crazy looking thing. And everyone's like, don't worry, there'll be no issues. It's plug and play, right? For Dark Side Phil, the thing that's simple, right, has to be complicated. Like right now, if I were to try to put this eye drop in my eye and I lean back to do it, first thing that would happen is nothing would come out. And then I'd be like, what the fuck? I'd shake it hard, and then I'd try to squeeze it, and then the entire plastic assembly would launch out and stab me in the eye. Right? Because that's Dark Side Phil. He can just do simple things that everyone else can do and enjoy. Everything has to be this overcomplicated horseshit fucking Murphy's Law kind of deal. Right? So I get the PC and the thing doesn't fucking work, and I'm losing my cool, and I'm trying to listen to, no exaggeration, 700 different people in chat telling me different things of what I should be doing, and none of them seem to be well informed. And I'm like, what the fuck am I gonna do? Sit here with an over $2,000 PC and it just never connects to the internet? And then I vent those frustrations and I say dumb shit, and then people are upset with me, rightly so. Which is why the next day, the first piece of content that I put out the very next morning was an apology segment on my Level 1 podcast saying, I goofed. I shouldn't have lost my cool. You guys should not be yelled at like that. That's on me. I'm very sorry for it. And everyone saw it and everyone accepted the apology. So why are we bringing it up? Right? You have to understand humans will make mistakes. And you either accept the person for who they are or you don't. Right? I'm not trying to sit here and make this the abuse stream. I don't want to sit here and just make fun of people and fuck you, loser, and shit like that all day. I want to have a good time. You know? So I just don't get it. I'm really lost. I don't get it. Again, what do I need to apologize for? Well, the way you treat your viewers. Well, what are you talking about? Well, sometimes you insult them. Yes, but most of the time when that happens, it's because they're pocket trolls who literally are trying to sneak diss me or bring shit up. Maybe I should just ban them and not say shit. Sometimes I get goaded into it. You're right, and I apologize for that. This is not an ongoing thing, because if I did have an ongoing thing, I wouldn't have any true viewers or supporters. Well, what about what happened with Scorn? So then we addressed that. I apologize for it. We moved on. What about what happened with the PC? I addressed that. I apologize for it. We moved on. So where is your point? I'm still waiting for the point, right? So your worst point about the reason that people think I need a redemption arc is that Darkseid Phil is human. Ow! That actually hurt, because I'm actually human. You're right, I'm not a robot. I'm not an AI. I'm a human. I have issues with certain things. Sometimes it's anger. I make mistakes. These are all correct statements, right? But I still haven't been explained to why I need a redemption arc. What are you redeeming me from exactly, right? And again, you can keep bringing up the memes and moving the goalpost, right? But I'm lost. And then the reaction to it is so extreme. Like Harakiri just said in chat, oh my God, he called someone an idiot. Now let's wish him literal death. Right? Let's threaten him with legal action for something where he actually realized he did something wrong and he retracted it because he realized it was wrong, his mistake. So he reversed the mistake. He fixed it. What? What the fuck are you talking about? Wow. Incredible vacuum. It's like, you know what a black hole is, right? Sometimes I feel like that's what the Detractorverse is. It's a black hole where people just keep getting sucked in by this gravitational force. And once you're in it, once you're in the vortex of that, you can't get out of it. I want to get out, but I just keep getting sucked back further. And I can't escape from it now because I'm up in it. But first. And you know what I mean? Like, what are you guys talking about over there? It's nothing of any logic, of any sound mind wouldn't even be saying that kind of stuff, right? By the way, thank you to Nuke531 for a membership. FYI, guys, I am out of here at 4 p.m. Pacific time, so I'm still here to hang out with you for about a half an hour. Thank you to everyone who has supported the stream in so many ways. Likes are outstanding. Super chats are outstanding. Memberships are outstanding. Tips are outstanding. You guys are outstanding with your commentary here in chat. It's been a good one, right? The Big Bambino says, Detractor say the money you asked for, that you said was going to bills, went to mobile games. There is absolutely, positively no way anyone could even have evidence of that at all. There is no one who has ever seen me receive a donation and then see that donation go into an account and immediately go out of an account to pay for a mobile game transaction. There is absolutely no way that ever could have happened, period. Okay? It doesn't matter what the detractors have said, what shit they've made up, what evidence they have. It literally hasn't happened. Okay? It doesn't matter how insane they are and they all want to believe it with their groupthink. That's all it is. It's groupthink. Right? What is the evidence of that? Well, someone went to Kiwi Farms and they posted up an account number, supposedly, and they posted up a phone number, and they posted up a passcode, and they said, hey, everyone, if you call into this number and you put in this account number and you type in this passcode, you're going to hear a bunch of transactions, and you can listen to this account's history for endless amount of years, and it's definitely Dark Side Phil. Okay? And in those transactions, there were things that said they were iTunes transactions. It didn't even say mobile game transactions. It said iTunes transactions, right? Okay. You ready for this? Is my name on that account? It's called circumstantial evidence. And by the way, did you call in? Did you call in and hear that? Or is it something that someone posted on the internet and you're just believing? Right? Right? Like, what are you saying? What are you talking about? Right? It just, I don't understand. Did you ever log in? Did you log into a bank, an actual bank, and open an actual bank system? And it said, Bill Burnell's bank account, and all this information that links it to me, and then it showed all the transactions, and they were all mine, and it was there in black and white. That never happened. Never happened at all. That's never, it's a pipe dream. It's a bullshit, stupid argument. Someone posted something up on Kiwi Farms that literally can never be verified. Okay? Never. There's no way. And isn't it funny that it can never be verified? Because that's the funny part about it. Oh, well, we can't verify it actually, right? And then when you analyze the evidence, it's so circumstantially stupid, right? And I've already said this, but no one listens to me, right? iTunes transactions. iTunes transactions. What the fuck are you talking about? When you buy stuff for a mobile game, all right, there's so many things that show you that this is so incorrect and it couldn't be what they're saying it is. Number one, if the methodology is I receive contributions via my streams, right? Like right now, the King's Tips that just came in, $301. So that went into my PayPal account. So if I'm going to do a transaction in a mobile game, what am I paying for it with? My PayPal account or my bank account? I'm paying for it with my PayPal account, correct? So why would there be transactions on a bank statement that say iTunes if I'm paying for the mobile games from my PayPal account? Oh, well, he transfers the money. Why would someone transfer money from PayPal to a bank account, which costs money to do? You lose money when you transfer from PayPal to a bank account to then initiate a transaction to pay when you could have just done it out of your PayPal account. All right. So that's number one. That's something I've already said. All right. Literally. But no one listens to that at all. Correct? No one wants to hear that rationale because it's Dark Side Phil. We don't believe him. Right? But here's another thing that all the geniuses out here don't realize. Okay. Here's something that if they actually took 2 seconds to figure this out, but no one will because they want to believe the bullshit. Are you ready for this one? Okay. Excuse me. Most mobile games these days are actually trying to get away from you buying anything in the game from these marketplaces of Apple or Google or whatever it may be. I think Apple and Google are the two biggest ones, correct? What they're actually starting to do, and they've done this, and I can verify because I play the game WWE Champions, okay? These companies have made alternate marketplaces. You know what's funny? Now people who are giving me shit the whole time are saying, can we stop talking about it? Wait a minute. Hold on a second. I'm debunking you. I'm debunking your horse shit. And now you want me to stop? Now, if that's not a fucking sign that now, because I actually have confidence to speak up about this shit, right? That now people are going to say, would you stop talking? Now you want me to stop because I have some logic and reason to the shit that I'm fucking saying. You want me to stop because it's going to crush your fucking argument? Oh, let me stop. Oh, no. Oh, you poor detractors. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry that I'm doing this today. Oh, I feel so bad that I'm crushing your fucking gems. How do you like that association, bitches? I'm crushing your gems. Look, I'm crushing your gems, crushing you. Oh my God. That is amazing. All right, are you ready? Because here's the other rationale, and this is what completely destroys their argument, all right? Because I was saying, mobile games now don't want you to buy stuff through the game anymore. I know that sounds weird, but when you buy stuff through the game, Apple gets a cut, Google gets a cut, whatever marketplace that game is listed on gets a cut. Well, the makers of the game don't want those marketplaces to get a cut. They want to get 100% of your money, all right? So do you want to know what these places have done? They have set up separate marketplaces outside of the realms of in-game transactions where you now go to spend money. For example, tonight, when we are in WWE Champions on my late stream, you're going to see right there on the screen, okay, buy coins. But wait a minute, I'm not on my phone on Apple Store, right? So how can you buy coins? Because what happens is you link your account to the web store. You buy coins through the web store. That then sends those coins to your account, and it circumvents the system. So now Apple doesn't get a cut of that transaction, and the game manufacturer gets all of the profits of that transaction. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been happening in mobile games for the greater part of 7 years. With WWE Champions, this has been a thing that they've been doing for many, many years, okay? Sometimes if you actually buy it outside of the realms of the store, it's even cheaper. If you buy stuff through Apple Store or through the game itself, it's more expensive than if you buy it through their website, okay? So answer me this, riddle me this, Batman or Sherlock Holmes or all you internet sleuths. Why in the fuck, if someone who is a whale of one of these mobile games, would they be buying all of their fucking credits through iTunes, which means you're paying more and getting less, rather than through their store? Their whole bullshit, oh, we have proof that you said you raised money for bills, you spent it on WWE Champions. You have someone else's account, which I don't even know if it's real or not, because I never sat there analyzing it. But you literally are looking at someone else's fucking bank account with shit in there that you think is circumstantial evidence. It makes no fucking sense. Why would you, let's say, for example, right now, to buy something through the store is $100, but you get 40 coins and a couple items. But if you buy the same thing through the web store, you get 40 coins, you get shards of a character, you get this bonus, you get event points, you get this. Who in their right fucking mind would sit there spending through the store? It doesn't make sense. You would go to the web to spend. You would never buy it through Apple Store. You would never buy. There would never be an iTunes transaction that says, here's a purchase for WWE Champions. It would always be through the site, through the web store or whatever, right? And I know this because I play the game. Literally no one who spends money on this game is actually buying it through the game. They're not. They're not at all. The only things that go through there are like the subscriptions. Like there's multiple subscription plans you can get in WWE Champions. And those are like 15, 20 bucks a month. Some of them are 10 bucks a month. That has to go, because it's a subscription plan. That shit has to go through like Apple Store. All right. But any other transaction literally has to go and be more expensive and give a cut to Apple. Why would you do it there? You're always going to do it through their web store or through their website. You're going to see it tonight as we play this game together. You're going to see the evidence of what I'm saying. All right. So the argument that, just think about how circumstantial this is. Someone somehow got access to Darkside Phil's bank account. They went on Kiwi Farms and they posted up an account number. They posted up a phone number. They posted up the passcode. Then they said, do this, do this, do this, and you're going to get a whole bunch of transactions in there that are his. First of all, you can't even verify it's real. There's no way to verify the information is real unless you were the one who actually called and did all that shit, right? So unless you personally did it, you got to have someone else vouch. And who did it? My fucking detractors, supposedly, right? They're not a verifiable, truthful source of information at all. It doesn't fucking, you can't verify what they're saying because they have vested interest to make shit up about me so they can say horrible things, do horrible things, and get content out of it and all of this, okay? There's no way that it can even be proven that anything that they said in these bank leaks is real. And then on top of that, the bank leaks don't make fucking sense, right? No one who's making money on PayPal every day is going to transfer it to their bank account and then buy stuff with it. They're just going to use their fucking PayPal. Or else you're incurring extra fees for no fucking reason. Doesn't make sense. Also, if you're playing this particular game, you're not going to be buying things through the store. You're going to be buying it through their website, which would not say iTunes on a statement. All right? So even with your circumstantial horseshit evidence you can't prove, I can do equally stupid circumstantial evidence that I can't really prove. But no one cares about my side, right? No one. Because I'm Dark Side Phil and you just believe everything. So I can't help dunces who will say, so you need to be redeemed because you said you were raising money for a bill and you spent it on WWE champions. You have to jump through so many fucking hoops to believe that argument. You have to believe a detractor who posted up, by the way, if it is true, a federal crime was committed of identity theft or fraud or both to even obtain the information to begin with. Okay? So now federal crimes had to be committed, right? You know what I'm saying? Like all this shit. This is just wild, right? Wild. Over the top nonsense that people are making the fuck up. And you're just going to believe it because you don't like me? It's not real. It's a realm of fantasy. Well, again, and I know people will say, well, this isn't the same situation. Well, it is. Because here's the deal. All right? Here's the fucking deal. I have had people catfish for over a year in my chat pretending to be a good person. All right? Then they volunteer to be a moderator. We make them a moderator. They're a moderator for almost a whole other year. At the end of that year, they get access to my Nightbot server. They go in my chat and they change all my commands to be offensive things so that I can try to get banned from Twitch. That happened. Someone spent 2 years of their life catfishing. Everyone in my community was friendly with this person, believed them, right? That they were who they were, right? And they did. And by the way, that happened twice. I'm not shitting you. That happened twice. It was 2 different times when someone did that, actually. Okay? You might say, that's ridiculous. It happened. It's factually documented. Okay? I had someone who was acting like they were an escort living in Europe, that I was flying across the world to spend time with me after my breakup with my ex, and that's where all my money was going. I was raising money on streams, and I was paying for this escort. All right? This shit went on for over 6 months that people believed it with literal no evidence. Guess who they were? It was a couple of people living in like Eastern Europe or some crazy shit who had done this to other people before with the intention of blackmailing to make money. I didn't get that far, but that's what it was. That literally happened. It's documented. It's factual. I had someone who worked at Comcast, my ISP, one of the biggest ISPs in the country, who worked there as a tech or whatever, who literally was illegally logging into my modem and putting malicious messages into the modem and wireless signal like, you know, DSP is a piece of shit, cat's fat, and naming my wireless signals that. They were literally sitting there and resetting and turning my modem on and off during live streams. I'm thinking I'm getting DDoS attacked. No, it was an employee of Comcast doing it. And the only reason we found out is because the tech came in and we looked at the modem together and we figured out to look at the logs and we could see all these logins from admins and shit. Like, who the fuck is this? I didn't do it and I didn't call in, so no one should be in the modem. We narrow it down. We figured it out. And this is true. This person posted up that information on Kiwi Farms. They confirmed it all. They confirmed all of it, that it's all real. Okay? So, if the first thing happened, and the next thing happened, and the next thing happened, and the next thing happened, and they're all insane, and they're all like, this is like a wild Hollywood movie. No, it's reality for me. That's my life. If all that happened, now it's too hard to believe that the bank leaks are faked. It's too hard to believe that, huh? Like, okay. No, really. Really. At this point, you get to the realm of such insanity. Because I mean, I really don't want to sit here and analyze the bank leak, right? There's so many things on there that don't make sense. There's transactions on there that's like hundreds and hundreds of dollars at a pet store over the course of like a few weeks. I have one cat. Do you think I'm buying him golden platinum food? Like, what do you think what is going on here? I have a one pet. So what the, but we could keep going. Why do we keep going? We don't need to. That's what I mean. You get to a certain point where like, all right, well, you're at this point, Phil, you've now sat here debunking this for 25 minutes. It's the realm of lunacy, right? We're done with this now. Thank you. If you just heard everything I just said and you're like, okay, after hearing all this, this is so fucking stupid. Now I'm seeing literally everything people don't like Phil for is actually horseshit that his detractors exaggerated. That's true. Here's the thing. I'm a human with flaws, okay? I have done many, many wrong things. I do get too upset at my audience about dumb shit and I lash out, okay? In the past, I absolutely have played mobile games and spent too much money on them. I've publicly talked about the cautions about doing that because I'm afraid that other people would get sucked into where I was sucked into with games like WWE Supercar. Supercar. That's a different game entirely. That was way before, okay? So, all this stuff that I've had flaws with and I've publicly admitted, all right? And it's just so fucking crazy simple that I don't know how anyone with a logical mindset would actually look at it and be like, I just believe everything about Phil. I hate him. But that's the thing, is that no one really did until Kino Casino came in and said, wait a minute. What did all these things people actually say about Phil? Let's analyze them. They started looking at him and they're like, what? It doesn't make sense. What the detractors do is they take a nugget of truth, which is what I call it, a nugget of truth, and they literally latch on so much horseshit onto it. I think it's like the nugget is here, but then they put all pieces of clay and they're sticking clay on it, and it just builds up to this giant mountain of shit. But that's not really what's true. What's true is this tiny little thing inside, and they just kept piling on. They're insane, over the top, circumstantial nonsense. And then everyone just believes it because they want to believe the drama. They want to believe the hate. They want to make the meme real. So that way, we have something to joke about today. We have content to make, to benefit, all the Duty streams and the memology guys and the Tevins and the fucking brand dudes and whoever the fuck they all are. Now they have content, right? And then here's the funny part about all of it. This Lucy in the chat, who literally before was accusing me, then said stop going because basically I was exposing all of this shit, now says, well, you have to prove it's false. I don't have to prove anything to you. Get it? I don't have to prove a goddamn fucking thing to you. You're no one. You're a little insignificant worm on the internet who wants to believe that I'm a bad person. You don't matter to me. You're like a worm that I was walking down the street and I accidentally slipped on. You understand? I don't owe you a goddamn fucking thing. And the moment you get that through your head and you move on with your insignificant life, will be a better day for the entire fucking planet Earth. I don't care about your opinion because you're wrong. You made shit up and I don't owe fuck all to you. Excuse me. The king slipped from his throne for a second there. He had to address a particular subject that was being incredibly annoying. Right? I mean, holy fucking shit. How crazy can it go? How deep can it go? This insane rabbit hole of insanity and cultish behavior and cultish thought. Literally, the things people hate me for are circumstantial shit that my trolls made up. A post on fucking Kiwi Farms from an unverifiable source because it can't be verified, because if it was, they'd go to federal prison. And it's bullshit that's completely circumstantial and proves nothing at all. But this is the evidence you have of me being the worst person on earth? Wow. You actually are dumb. And the problem is, the dumb people found ways to get pushed to the top of the YouTube algorithm. And so the dumb people are what people like Kino Casino or Keemstar or other content creators see when they search for Dark Side Phil. They don't see DSP doing a fun podcast or doing a fun playthrough or doing all the shit. They see Dark Side Phil bank leaks, horrible person, right? Like, so I don't blame people for having misconceptions for 10 years, but thank you for allowing me to now have the time and platform to say to those people, please fuck off, because you're a liar and I don't have to prove shit. I don't have to open my accounts to prove anything to you, because you know that's actually what the detractors want. The moment I open my accounts to show you real information, oh my God, the gold mine just opened. Reverse engineer the information, use this to hack this, social engineer this, ruin his life. This isn't about me disproving accusations in any way. This is about them having a means to find more information about me to make more content. Because honestly, the hate on me has gotten old. Their arguments have gotten stale. They don't have any new dirt on me for like 4 fucking years. So now they have to keep rehashing until finally they think I'm going to snap one day and I'm going to slam my head on the ground. Fuck this. I'll finally prove it. I'm going to open this phone. I'm going to show you the account. And that's exactly what they want, because then they got what they wanted. They're going to get new information to fuck with me even further. Do you understand? That's why I'm not going to do it. I'm not dumb. I've been there already. There have been times when on these streams, I tried to defend myself, and what I said, they would then twist into something else, even worse or more egregious or worse for me. So it doesn't make sense to waste time on it. Like I said, I'd rather have the devil I know. Everyone believes what they say about me, versus the devil I don't. I expose a whole bunch of personal information and it could fuck my life up forever, right? I already got people committing identity theft on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I already have people committing identity theft on Twitter. What if they get hold of things where now they can open accounts in my name and they can do all this shit just because they found a way to reverse engineer information? I'm not going to take that fucking risk. I'm not insane, all right? The people who are insane are people who think that a fucking mobile game matters. Those are the people who are insane, okay? Okay, I've had enough of this guy. He's out of here. He had no argument at all, and he's still going on. He's continuously moving the goalpost, and he can kiss the royal cheeks. Okay, some shout-outs. I received a $1 tip. Someone says, in the most respectful way, I do not care about anything from the farms or your detractors. I'm just here to have fun. You know, that's what I'm here for too, okay? So someone just did a $2 tip. They said, Phil, I've been watching your content through clip channels for through the years on and off. There's going to be $3 more added to the total, by the way. I have to admit that after the Kino, and Josh, and Keemstar interactions, that I realized, probably like Keem, that I was mostly being a hater for no real reason. You can be fun and you can collab with people and you can change. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I encourage you to follow Keem's advice and look for more collabs. I think that the overall results will be better than you probably expect, even at this point. Good luck. Thank you. I received a $5 tip. Phil, as a detractor, I am happy to see you go through a redemption arc. It's great to see you make new friends. Is there a chance you'll ever go back to a fighting game tournament? I wish you luck. I don't know about that because I just don't care about fighting games enough, I don't think. Right? Like, I love playing Street Fighter 6 right now. I love messing around and raging and getting better. I don't see myself getting back into the competitive scene. It's a very different scene. Playing a game offline versus online is a very different feeling. and you need to get used to it, and you need to have a lot of experience with it, which I will not and don't want to spend time doing. I would much rather be here making content for you guys every day. Like I said, maybe there's a situation where I would do like a last hurrah event. If there was like a really big super turbo event or something like that, and then, you know, they just happen to have Street Fighter going on, like Street Fighter 6 the super turbo, maybe I would enter a bunch of tournaments or something. But I just don't at all. I don't see myself spending that amount of time and effort again on competitive Street Fighter. Yeah, like they say never, correct? I received a $1.50 tip. I love this. You ready for this? People dislike you because you contradict yourself constantly. You've said things in the stream that contradict earlier comments. You saying that in a tip doesn't make it real. To formulate an argument, you have to have a little bit something called evidence, or an actual argument that's formulated with facts, or even a statement. Your statement is, I don't like you because of this. Well, where's your evidence of that? Well, you didn't present that. You just tipped $1, right? So you're nothing. You don't get to believe whatever you want with no evidence. I mean, you can. It makes you incredibly stupid. You have to have an argument. If you come here with an argument, like you said at the beginning of the stream, you said this, and now you said this. That's a contradiction, and we can address that. You literally didn't say the contradiction. You wasted everyone's time, but most of all, you wasted your $1.50, which you're not getting back, by the way. So thank you very much for that. And let's see here. Boniface Enjoyer, $10 super chat. Peasants bow to the king. My tribute to the war chest, my liege. Thank you so much. Glebe with a $7 super chat. The Kino guys think the bank leaks are yours. They just don't care. You know, in truth, I don't know if they think they are or not, because we've kind of gone back and forth, and I've heard them reference it in different ways. I also don't care what they think. You know what I'm saying? Like, I literally also don't care what they think either. I know what's real and what's not. You know what I'm saying? So, Spicy Sauce with a $20 super chat says the WWE Champions thing was always the dumbest lie. Even if you spent $10 million on WWE Champions, everything's Kino. There are guys who are pedophiles, violent criminals, and no, God forbid that you would get a shiny Hulkster with your own money. Yeah, there you go. Even if it's true, they don't care. I'm telling you it's not. I guess it doesn't really matter what I say anymore, right? Whatever. I guess at this point, it's a moot point. We don't even need to talk about it anymore. We could joke about it like we're going to do tonight. We're going to play WWE Champions together, right? People are now saying that they think Lucy actually is Duty Streams, by the way. If you guys aren't aware, they're saying that Lucy actually was Duty Streams all along, and that's the account he uses to goad me on streams. You could be right. You could be wrong. I have no evidence of either, but I would tend to believe you considering the way that guy behaves. Stibble just did a $2 super chat and says, thoughts on some guy making $80,000 off restreaming LTG. If it's transformative work, it's a dirty business, and I don't think anyone should, but hey, it's legal, and there's nothing much you could do about it, right? If it's literally just restreaming with absolutely no transformation, no commentary, no criticism, that's fucked up, and something should be done about it. But I don't know the situation. I can't really comment on it. It looks like Suffa Horse did a super chat. Boogie spent thousands of his dollars of his money on prostitutes, yet the detractors are fixated on you with mobile game purchases. It's the weirdest thing to watch. Thank you for the super chat. And then Jack Ack says, hold on. I'm going to go back to super chats and memberships exclusively because the only reason I started doing tips is because you preferred them, but you seem to be reigning in tips these days, so I want to go back. You can do whatever you like, and I will say this, even though, yes, previously it was like, man, I really need those tips because that's what I can use right now for, like, liquidity. It's money I can spend, while if you contribute through YouTube, that's money that's held for a while, and I don't see it for a while. You're right. Coming up, especially when I get this next YouTube payment for this month, it's going to be huge because you guys have been so supportive this month. Now, we don't know if it's going to level out or continue at this level, right? I mean, let's be honest. Do you really realistically think this is going to last forever? I don't, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe it will. And if it does, that's insane. And then it won't matter how you guys contribute because I'm going to be fine. All right? Again, I want to reiterate something I said earlier. The reason now that I was able to do things like the Kino Casino appearances, the Rich from Review Tech reaction, and even the gameplay, all this stuff I'm doing, today's interview, this is because you guys are supporting it. I'm going outside of my comfort zone to do different kinds of content, right? And a day away from me streaming a stream that's not on my channel is something I don't get paid for. But you guys have been funding this. So if you like what you see, please keep funding it. And yes, that will increase the chances of seeing more of it if that's what you like. It's cause and effect. Okay? So thank you, Tiakyak, for a very generous $10 super chat. You were the latest super chatter. And by the way, guys, we're almost done. Can you believe it's almost 4 p.m.? I've been here nonstop talking for so long, and I didn't even realize it. Actually, Banhead just did a super chat. Thank you, Banhead22. During my Marvel vs. Capcom Infinite multiplayer sessions, you were accused of being mean to the stream chat and mean towards people who won. Response? Here is the official King's response. Fuck those scrubs. Okay. One more. We got to wrap it up soon, guys. Just another couple minutes here. Mr. Game Master's here with a $1 tip. And he says, so I see you're like 5 to 4 hours into Star Wars Outlaws. What do you think of it? Watch my daily wrap from last night. I really, really don't want to go into detail about it right now when I'm ending the stream. My thoughts on Avowed being 30 frames per second on the Series S and X. That really sucks. I wish that it would be 60. I think that all versions of games should be exactly the fucking same. Because you're paying the same amount of money for them. But I guess it is what it is. It's a symptom of our industry, correct? Hopefully it'll be good on PC, because obviously that's what I'm going to be playing it on. Thank you for the tip there, Mr. Game Master. Okay. Last chance for any questions, then I'm out of here to break. I'll be back tonight. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, with WWE Champions for the very first time on my late stream. So you don't want to miss that. It's so silly. Someone just said, would I chill when I play Street Fighter 6? Because I get a lot of toxic claims from my gameplay of Street Fighter 6. Those claims only come from my detractors. They don't come from anyone from the FGC. People in the FGC who have been around for a while know exactly what the shit talking is. It's exactly meant to do what it's doing. And it's silly. It's not serious shit talking. It's not me like saying, you know, oh, I'm going to go beat this person up in real life and shit. You know, it's dumb shit. Like, you're a horrible person. You're a waste of meat. Like, what? You're a flowchart player. You suck. You're horrible. You don't know how to play Street Fighter. That's what I'm saying. It's just fucking shit talk. You know what I'm saying? Like, what are you talking? It's so silly that people would be offended by that stuff. But apparently, oh no, it's the detractors, dude. It's the detractor. So he's being mean. Shut the fuck up. You were not around in the days of arcade. You didn't play. You didn't go through the hazing I went through back in the day. I took my licks. I earned my stripes. I'll say what the fuck I want when I play fighting games, and you'll like it, or you'll be a bitch on the internet forever. Oops, you're already a bitch on the internet, so I guess, you know, it doesn't really matter. Okay, are we good? I think we covered everything. No, another super chat came in from World. Will you be playing Kingdom Come Deliverance 2? Oh, not interested in it. Saw my wife try Kingdom Come Deliverance 1, looked like shit. And, no, I don't think so. Hopefully this is the final tip, because I really got to get out of here, guys. A $15 tip from Akari. Even at your worst, you've never done anything to be in the same category as most of these lolcows. Real lolcows have done kinds of things we can't even say on YouTube. They do actually deserve a lot of what they get from their trolls. I found your channel because I like lolcow content. Just like the Kino guys, my reaction was, what the heck's the deal? This guy hasn't done anything. He's not a Christian or a Cyrax. He's not even a Boogie. Dude, he's just playing video games and being chill. I've been here since because I like your gameplay, especially when you're doing RPGs, so keep it real, King. Thank you. I love RPGs. I wish I could play more RPGs. Sadly, RPGs don't really resonate with my audience that well. And I find when I try to do RPGs, they don't do good. That's why you don't see me playing that many. But there will be a couple coming up. I think we're going to be doing Dragon Age, Dawn Guard. We're probably going to maybe do Metaphor, depending on if I trust Atlas or not. I don't know if I trust Atlas right now. But, all right. So, guys, thank you so much for a great stream. What a stream this has been. All right. Now we'll get back to some normalcy tonight. Well, I guess tonight's stream will be kind of wild. We'll be doing WWE Champions, but normal stuff for a bit, but I promise you, I'll put the feelers out. I'll have to see if who I can contact. Like I said, sadly, a lot of people don't allow DMs on Twitter, so I can't like reach out. If you have someone who you think it would be interesting to see me collaborate with, put the feelers out there. Let them know. Say, hey, DSP's on this way up, and he just did amazing content with Kino. He did amazing content with Keem, and we want to see this. Would you be interested to see if they, and let them know I'm a little dude. I don't have the connections. I don't even know how to contact people. I would like to see if people hit me up in DMs on Twitter and be like, hey, just so you know, I'd be interested maybe doing something with you. That'd be cool. So let's see what happens with that. All right, guys, I gotta get out of here. Thank you. What an amazing stream. This by far will have the most views of any piece of content I've ever put out, and I will leave it. I'm not even going to edit it. I'm going to leave it as is so people can watch it on demand after the fact, and I will cut it up and upload the separate videos, because it really was the the technical issues part, then there was the interview, then there was the decompression, and now we just had this hangout session. I'll make them separate videos, but I hope that you guys will will be checking out more stuff of mine as well. All right, I'll be back. Oh, but I gotta get out of here, guys. Thank you so much. See you soon.